This one bite could save your heart. Top 7 vegetables that quietly heal your heart. You felt it, just for a second, a strange pressure in your chest. You told yourself, it's probably nothing. But deep down, a quiet fear whispered, what if it's not? Heart attacks rarely come with fanfare. They arrive in silence, stealing time, independence, and sometimes life. Here's the truth. Many seniors walk around each day not knowing their arteries are slowly narrowing, not knowing that what they eat could be making it worse, or quietly saving their life. But this isn't a video about fear, it's a video about power. Because right now, on your plate, there are vegetables so healing, so protective, they've been called nature's heart medicine. Not pills, not procedures, just plants. In the next few minutes, we'll explore the 7 best vegetables that science and centuries of wisdom say can help prevent a heart attack. No hype, no gimmicks. Just simple foods that whisper to your heart, I'm still with you. So pull up a chair, take a deep breath, and let's begin your journey. Back to strength, back to vitality, back to life. If you find something helpful in this video, even just a small moment of clarity, please tap the like button. And if you've walked this road before, or are just beginning, we'd be honored to hear your story in the comments, because your words might be exactly what someone else needs today. First, garlic, the humble clove that silently heals. Let's begin with something simple, something you've probably used 1,000 times without giving it much thought. Garlic. If you're watching this video, chances are you've felt it. Not just the pressure in your chest, but the quiet question that lingers beneath your everyday movements. Is my heart still strong enough to carry me through? After 60, health becomes less about numbers and more about moments. Moments where we pause at the top of the stairs to catch our breath. Moments when our chest tightens for no clear reason. Moments when we wonder if fatigue is just fatigue or a signal from within. We start to listen more closely to our bodies, and that's why we're starting not with a pill, not with a procedure, but with something ancient, familiar, natural, garlic. For centuries, across cultures and continents, garlic has been more than flavor, it has been a quiet healer. Within each clove lies a compound called allicin, a natural chemical formed when garlic is crushed or chopped. Allicin is what gives garlic its strong smell and its even stronger medicinal potential. How does it help your heart? Allicin works by relaxing and expanding your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more freely. In fact, a 2016 meta-analysis of 20 clinical trials showed that garlic supplements could reduce systolic blood pressure by an average of 8 to 9 mmHg in people with hypertension, a result comparable to low-dose prescription medications. But it doesn't stop there. Garlic helps lower LDL cholesterol, the bad kind that builds up in your arteries, while leaving your HDL cholesterol, the good kind, untouched. It also reduces platelet aggregation, meaning it prevents your blood from becoming sticky and forming dangerous clots that could trigger a sudden heart attack. One small clove, no noise, no warning labels, no long list of side effects, just natural chemistry, gently supporting your circulation, one heartbeat at a time. And the beauty of it? You already have it in your kitchen. You don't need a prescription. You don't need to order anything online. You just need to reach for it, and remember that healing doesn't have to be expensive, complicated, or new. Whether it's roasted alongside your vegetables, stirred into soup, or taken raw with a bit of honey, garlic asks for so little, yet gives so much. And if you're wondering, can something so small really make a difference? Consider this. A heart attack doesn't always come from something big. It often comes from years of small imbalances, tiny decisions, repeated daily, that slowly weaken your foundation. So it only makes sense that recovery could begin the same way. One small clove, one quiet choice, one moment of care. Of course, a note of caution. If you're taking blood-thinning medications or preparing for surgery, speak to your doctor first. Garlic has natural anticoagulant properties that may enhance those effects. But for most people, a single clove a day is one of the gentlest, most powerful choices you can make for your heart, because when it comes to heart disease, silence can be dangerous. But sometimes, silence is also a form of wisdom. And garlic? It's been whispering the truth to us for thousands of years. Now's the time to listen. After garlic's whisper, what comes next? Something red, warm, and full of joy, tomatoes. Next is tomatoes, red for a reason. Garlic may whisper to your arteries, but tomatoes? They speak in bold, vibrant color. If garlic is the silent healer, tomatoes are the joyful reminder that heart health doesn't have to be bitter medicine. Sometimes it's sweet, juicy, and red as summer. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant responsible for their bright red hue. But this isn't just about color, it's about protection. Lycopene has been shown in multiple studies to lower LDL cholesterol, reduce arterial inflammation, and improve vascular function. In fact, a long-term study published in Neurology found that men with the highest lycopene levels had a 55% lower risk of stroke compared to those with the lowest levels. And here's something even more interesting. Lycopene becomes more bioavailable when tomatoes are cooked. That means your homemade marinara sauce or stewed tomatoes on toast aren't just comforting, they're protective. You're not just feeding your hunger, you're feeding your heart. Tomatoes are also rich in potassium, a key mineral for blood pressure regulation. Most seniors don't get enough potassium, and when that balance tilts too far towards sodium, blood vessels stiffen, pressure rises, and the heart bears the load. The truth is, we often wait for warning signs before we change. But the body doesn't always shout. Sometimes it only nudges, through fatigue, swelling, or a missed beat you can't explain. That's why adding tomatoes to your meals isn't just a culinary choice, it's a quiet act of love toward your future self. Slice them raw into salads, roast them until caramelized, simmer them gently into soup. Every way you enjoy a tomato is a way you say, I want to stay strong, stay independent, stay alive. And the next time you see that plump red fruit in your kitchen, remember, it's not just food. It's a lifeline, and it's yours to take. What about spinach? Gentle strength from the earth? If tomatoes bring color and joy, spinach brings quiet strength. There's something deeply grounding about spinach. Maybe it's the way its soft leaves curl in your palm, or how it doesn't demand attention on the plate, but quietly nourishes you anyway. Spinach may not look bold, but inside it holds one of the most important secrets to heart health: nitrates. When you eat spinach, these natural nitrates are converted into nitric oxide in your body. And nitric oxide is like a peacekeeper for your blood vessels. It relaxes them, widens them, and helps blood flow more freely. That means less pressure on your heart, less risk of strain or damage. In fact, a study in the Journal of Nutrition Research found that daily spinach consumption significantly lowered both systolic and diastolic blood pressure in adults with mild hypertension. But that's not all. Spinach is packed with potassium, a mineral most seniors are deficient in. Potassium balances sodium in your body, which can otherwise cause your vessels to stiffen like old garden hoses. Just 2/3 of a cup of cooked spinach gives you nearly 600 milliliters of potassium, gently tipping the scale back in your favor. It's also rich in lutein and quercetin, antioxidants that protect the walls of your arteries from oxidative stress, a silent driver behind heart disease and aging. Yet, perhaps the most powerful thing about spinach is its simplicity. It asks for so little, just a spot on your plate. And in return, it gives back resilience, circulation, and quiet strength. You can toss it raw into salads, sauté it with a drizzle of olive oil, or blend it into a morning smoothie. It doesn't take much, but every time you eat spinach, you're giving your heart one more reason to keep beating strong. We often think strength comes from trying harder, but sometimes real strength comes from listening, gently, quietly, just like spinach. The fourth veggies is red cabbage, the color of protection. If spinach teaches us that strength can be quiet, red cabbage reminds us that healing can be bold. This vibrant purple vegetable doesn't just brighten your plate, it tells a deeper story. A story of resilience, of inner defense, of color born from compounds that shield the heart. Red cabbage is rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that give it that deep, royal hue. These same compounds have been linked to lower inflammation, reduced oxidative stress, and even a significant drop in the risk of heart attack. One Harvard study found that women who regularly consumed anthocyanin-rich foods had up to a 32% lower risk of heart disease than those who didn't. That's not just nutrition, it's prevention. And it doesn't take a lot. Just a half cup of raw red cabbage gives you more than double the antioxidant value of green cabbage. It's also packed with vitamin C and K, potassium, and fiber, all of which support healthy blood vessels, cholesterol balance, and circulation. But beyond the science, red cabbage has something else: presence. When you add it to your plate, you're not just eating, you're choosing to live vividly. You're saying, I believe in nourishment that's both beautiful and strong. And maybe that's the lesson red cabbage gives us, that our heart isn't just a muscle, it's a message, one that deserves color, energy, and care. So shred it into slaw, sauté it with apples, let it crunch beneath your fork like a quiet celebration of life, because every bite of red cabbage is a vote against inflammation, against hardening arteries, and a vote for the bold, beautiful heart still beating in your chest. Let's move to next veggies, chili peppers, the fiery protector. After the gentle strength of spinach and the bold beauty of red cabbage, let's turn to a vegetable that doesn't whisper or shimmer. It ignites. Chili peppers. Just the mention of them might make your lips tingle or your eyes water. But behind that heat lies protection. Capsaicin, the compound that gives chili its fire, does more than spice up a meal. It improves circulation, supports fat metabolism, lowers LDL cholesterol, and fights inflammation from the inside out. In a major 8-year study of over 22,000 people published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, researchers found that individuals who ate chili peppers 4 or more times per week had a 34% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease than those who rarely or never ate them. That's not a coincidence. That's chemistry. Nature working in your favor, if you're willing to handle the heat. Capsaicin helps blood vessels dilate and stay flexible. It also stimulates thermogenesis, a process that helps burn fat and manage body weight, both of which are closely linked to heart health. And most importantly, it fights chronic low-grade inflammation, one of the silent forces behind aging arteries. But the real power of chili peppers? They wake you up. They remind you that life isn't meant to be bland or flat. It's meant to have kick, color, sensation. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body is still capable of reacting, adapting, feeling alive. Of course, moderation matters. If you have digestive issues or acid reflux, go easy. You don't need to douse your food, just a sprinkle, a slice, a spoonful in soup, enough to stir the senses, enough to nudge the heart awake again. Because sometimes the path to healing isn't quiet. Sometimes it's fiery. And that spark? That's life returning. And indispensable is broccoli, your artery's best friend. After the spark of chili peppers, it's time to return to something steady, something that grounds us. Enter broccoli. It's not flashy. It doesn't shout for attention. But like the people we trust most in life, broccoli shows up quietly, reliably, and with purpose. What makes this humble green vegetable so powerful for your heart? 2 things: fiber and phytochemicals. Broccoli is packed with soluble fiber, which helps sweep cholesterol out of your system like a gentle broom. It binds to excess LDL, the bad cholesterol, and escorts it out through your digestive tract, preventing it from settling in your arteries. At the same time, broccoli contains a compound called sulforaphane, a phytochemical shown to reduce inflammation, protect blood vessels, and even prevent the formation of arterial plaque. In one study from the British Journal of Nutrition, older adults who consumed cruciferous vegetables like broccoli had significantly less arterial calcification, a key predictor of heart attacks and strokes. Broccoli is also rich in potassium and magnesium, two minerals that help your heart beat steadily and your blood pressure stay in a healthy range. And unlike processed foods, broccoli brings all this power without the baggage: no sodium overload, no hidden sugars, no preservatives. But perhaps the most meaningful thing about broccoli is what it represents: consistency. It's the vegetable version of a daily walk, or brushing your teeth, or calling someone you love. It may seem small in the moment, but over time, it adds up. It protects. It builds. And isn't that what health is really made of? Not giant changes, not perfect routines, but small, meaningful choices, made again and again. Broccoli doesn't demand change overnight. It doesn't expect you to be someone else. It simply invites you to start where you are. If standing at the stove feels like too much today, steam it in the microwave with a splash of water and olive oil. If chewing is a struggle, puree it into soup. If your appetite is low, mix it into something familiar: mashed potatoes, scrambled eggs, or a warm rice dish. Every bit counts, because every time you eat broccoli, you're reminding your body, I haven't given up on you, let's keep going. We often look for health in the extraordinary. But sometimes healing is found in the ordinary things, done with quiet love. Finally, we have pumpkin, the golden heart helper. After all the greens and purples, we end with gold. Pumpkin, gentle, nourishing, quietly powerful, the kind of food that feels like a warm hug. It's the vegetable of comfort, of slow-cooked stews and autumn evenings. But don't be fooled by its sweetness. Pumpkin is one of nature's most heart-supportive gifts. First, it's packed with potassium, a mineral that most older adults don't get enough of. Just 1 cup of cooked pumpkin gives you over 500 milliliters of potassium, helping counter the stiffening effects of sodium and supporting healthy blood pressure. In fact, diets rich in potassium are associated with a significantly lower risk of both stroke and heart failure. But there's more. Pumpkin is loaded with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, a powerful antioxidant that prevents the oxidation of LDL cholesterol. Why does that matter? Because when LDL oxidizes, it becomes far more likely to stick to your artery walls and form plaque. Preventing that oxidation is key to keeping your arteries flexible and clean. Pumpkin is also a great source of soluble fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar and support cholesterol balance. For seniors managing both heart disease and diabetes, this makes pumpkin especially valuable. And don't forget the seeds. Pumpkin seeds, often tossed away, are rich in magnesium, zinc, and healthy fats. Magnesium helps regulate heartbeat and muscle function, while zinc supports immunity and cell repair. Eating a handful of pumpkin seeds regularly is like feeding your heart tiny tools to keep building strength from the inside out. But beyond the nutrients, pumpkin offers something more emotional: comfort without compromise. In a world where eating healthy often feels like giving something up, pumpkin gives you warmth and wellness in 1 spoonful. It brings back memories of family dinners, Thanksgiving tables, and simpler times while still serving your future health. You can blend it into soups, bake it into oatmeal, or mix it into smoothies. You can roast the seeds with a pinch of sea salt and cinnamon, however you enjoy it. Pumpkin says this to your body: I care about you. I want you to be well. And maybe in this season of life, that's the most powerful message you can give yourself. Because nourishment isn't just about numbers and nutrients. It's about memory, gentleness, and hope. And pumpkin? It brings all of that to the table. What if healing didn't start in a hospital room, but in your kitchen? And finally, my dear old friend, I want to tell you this. What if prevention wasn't complicated, expensive, or overwhelming, but rooted in small, beautiful daily choices, because now you've met them. 7 vegetables, 7 protectors, not just foods, but allies, each one offering its own kind of strength: garlic's quiet shield, tomato's vibrant energy, spinach's gentle support, cabbage's bold color, chili's fiery spark, broccoli's steady presence, and pumpkin's comforting embrace. But here's the deeper truth. This isn't really about vegetables. It's about choosing to stay longer at the table with the people you love, to keep walking without fear, to wake up with energy, dignity, and purpose, to whisper to your own heart, "I'm still here. I still matter." A healthy life doesn't begin with perfection. It begins with awareness, with the decision to show up for yourself, not with guilt or shame, but with care. So maybe tonight, instead of skipping dinner or settling for something processed, you'll reach for something simple, something green, something warm, not just to eat, but to honor the life you're still living. If this message speaks to you, leave a comment below. Tell us what food has changed your health or your heart. Your words might lift someone who needed them today. And if you're ready to keep learning, keep healing, watch the next video to know more ways to take care of yourself. Take care of your heart. It's taken care of you for a long time.